Hello and welcome. I am Dr. Jessica Bueller, and I'm here to talk to you today about activation, about it starts with yellow, about a company called LifeVantage. I am a chiropractor in the middle of nowhere, South Dakota. I have additional certifications in acupuncture and an allergy elimination technique called NATE. I'm married to a farmer, 22 years today. We had 5 kids. And this came into my life not that long ago, 9 years ago, pretty close to right now, if I'm totally honest. And I didn't look at it and didn't look at it and didn't look at it because I thought this would be another baggie on my desk that I threw away at the end of the week. And so I'm hoping that by the time you get done here listening, that you'll see what is so special and maybe get a little glimpse of what had me say yes and look into this a little bit more. And maybe you'll get a little excited about somebody having the courage to ask you to take a look. So, what do I mean by activation? So, why does our life get out of balance? We have constant everyday occurrences, our diet, our stress, medications, aging, exercise, lack of exercise, sleep, our environment. Our toxic load is increasing every single year. And that toxicity is leading to nutrient deficiencies, mitochondrial dysfunction, parasite issues, clogging our drainage pathways, chronic infections. Lots and lots of things are happening to people. And when you look at what worked for our parents, what worked for our grandparents is no longer going to be enough for our kids and our grandkids. And so this is where we're looking at things, is from this cellular point. What can we do? We know everyone's life is going to get out of balance at some point. And what can we do to support the body on a cellular level? So we have this gradual shift in how the body is responding. Biologically, it feels like the body is doing the same work it always has. It's just less efficient. It's slower to recover. And this is starting to show up in our brain and cognition. We have slower processing, less clarity in our muscles and our movement, slower recovery again, that stiffness, the loss of muscle memory. Our energy and metabolism is lower. We start to have hormonal shifts, and our cellular repair is just not what it once was. And this is where activation comes into place. LifeVantage is the activation company. It is the only activation company. There are thousands of supplement companies. And now the big buzz is the peptide world, the peptide companies. And we are neither of those. We are, again, the only activation company. So we look at what can we do to turn on what God created inside of us? What can we do to activate what is already there? And what supplements do, what peptides do, is try to fill up a cup. Like imagine you have a cup and the cup is empty or it's low. And so you fill up the cup with whatever that thing is that you're missing. But with activating, it's like having a self-filling cup. The cup just fills itself up naturally when you turn on the genes that allow for that to happen. So we do something we call take it to make it. You take something so the body makes something. We empower the body to make the things it once was making on its own, the antioxidants, the proteins, the peptides, the enzymes, the things we need for better health and wellness. And when you share a LifeVantage with other people, you're also activating an opportunity to build a supplemental income. So it starts with yellow. I'm going to tell you a story about yellow. So when I started, this was the thing that I actually took a look at. And when I say I thought this would be a baggie I threw away at the end of the week, I mean chiropractors must have a target on their back that says, please ask me to sell your product. And from every company you can possibly think of, not just supplements, products, things that people could do at home, self-help, anything, that target is there, right? And people would bring in products. And the first thing I would ask them is, does it have any research? Most of the time they didn't know. And then if they did, it was a small research done by the company only. When I saw this, I asked the same question, and she said, "Yes, it does." And I said, "Well, send them to me." She sent me 3 studies, and I didn't look at them, and I didn't look at them, and I didn't look at them, and I didn't look at them. And she kept following up, and finally, I really thought was, I'll just look at these, and then I'll tell her I'm not interested. And the 3 studies were incredible. And then I looked up more in PubMed on my own. PubMed is where doctors do their research. And there were at that time over 20 peer reviewed studies. There are now over 30 peer reviewed studies in PubMed on the product. There was also a telling ABC primetime investigation done on the product. And when I heard the terms they were talking about, oxidative stress, which is at the root of aging, I knew this was something big. And I remember thinking to myself, if this is real, I am going to help a lot of people with activation. And since then, I've learned it is real. And studies done by places like Washington State University and Harvard, and that have appeared in journals like Circulation, the Journal of the American Heart Association, have shown that yellow, this tiny yellow tablet, can do things in your body that you have yet to experience. And if your body is not activated, once you're activated, you're going to experience an entirely different level of health. So, yellow, it starts with yellow. This is what started for me. I filled an entire banker's box with studies, the studies on this product alone, the patented end product, not on ingredients, the patented product, 7 US patents, 13 international patents. Those patents are impressive. So the studies are there. This company, we do something I like to think of as we do the research, and then we get the patents, and then we get the results. And I've been blessed to be on the scientific advisory board for the past 2 years and see this in action in the development of our products and what we see and what we get by doing that. So it starts with yellow. So where did we begin? Like I said, in 2003, we had one peer-reviewed published study on this product, and it showed that we could lower oxidative stress on average 40% in 30 days. Oxidative stress is like the rusting of a car. If you set it outside, you know it's going to rust. If you cut an apple in half and leave it on your counter, it will oxidize. This is literally happening inside your cells. It's an accumulation of damage and toxicity. Think about how many toxins we are exposed to now, how many new chemicals have come out even in the last decade. It's garbage accumulating in there. And by taking one of these, we can lower that by 40% in just 30 days, a claim that had not been made at that point in all of the research that had been done. So in 2005, ABC did a primetime investigation on us to debunk that claim. And instead of debunking it, John Quinones had a 45% reduction in his oxidative stress load in just 2 weeks. If you have yet to see that ABC primetime investigation, ask whoever invited you here to watch this. If you can see it, so you can see what I'm saying, because what they predict in that ABC primetime investigation has now been proven by third-party research. So this is literally taking God's pharmacy to turn on God's pharmacy inside our cells. We take Protandim Nrf2 and we start making antioxidants at a rate of 1 million every single second in a bell-shaped curve like God designed within us. This helps clear out the garbage inside your cells. Imagine there's a hurricane inside your cells and you can just go in there and take out all the trash. Or imagine there's a fire in every single cell in your body. And when you take antioxidants, things like fruits, greens, vitamin C, things like that, it's literally like throwing a Dixie cup at a fire. But when we take one yellow pill, it's like turning on a fire hose in every single room in the house. It's incredible what this can do for your body. So we start with yellow to make antioxidants. We take Protandim Nrf2, so we make antioxidants. over 30 peer-reviewed studies, 7 US patents, international patents. We can fight back from the inside out. And maybe you've heard of some of the ingredients in this: ashwagandha, bacopa, green tea, silmarin, curcumin. But look at what happens when we take this patented synergistic blend. We get an 18-fold increase in the expression of that antioxidant enzyme. This is literally like being able to fine tune your genes. You literally take it and it flips those switches the right way so you express the genes that you desire to express. Over 30 peer-reviewed published journals. Again, you can go to PubMed just like I did, do your own research, and find the studies that are important to you. Why was this important to me? Why did I understand the science? Because at the time that I was reading this, like 6 months before that, I had sent up a prayer. I was doing research for my friend who was sick with something that no one wants to have. And I was in charge of her nutrition because we lived 12 hours apart. And to be a support for her, that was my job. And at the time of her death, she was taking 9 of the 10 components of our 2 activators that we had at that time 9 years ago. And so I understood the research. I knew how important oxidative stress was and mitochondrial function. But I was praying for something more powerful, something stronger, something to get a better effect in a shorter period of time. And this had the research to back it up. At the time of its publication, when this appeared in the journal Circulation of the American Heart Association, it was the only natural product ever featured in that journal. Even fish oil had not made the cut. We have studies by the National Institute of Aging showing we're the only natural product proven to extend lifespan. Harvard University, Colorado State, Washington State University, Louisiana State University. We have so many major places that have done their research on this product. It's just a matter of you getting this in your body to see what happens when your cells are activated. Washington State University said NRF2 may well become the most extraordinary therapeutic and preventive breakthrough in the history of medicine. For its, look at this, NRF2, a master regulator of detoxification and also antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and other cytoprotective mechanisms, is raised by health promoting factors. If you have a brain or a spinal cord, you want to pay attention to this study. This was one for chiropractors. OMG. Like when I first was looking at this, all I could think about were the patients I was stuck with. The ones that I could get so far that then there was like this another layer that we couldn't get past, right? So the Multiple Sclerosis Journal was published there by a drug company called Biogen on their drug Tecfidera. And they studied our Protandim in comparison to their toxic drug. And they found that, interestingly, Protandim, a supplement consisting of herbal ingredients, may be the most potent inducer and therefore may be the most therapeutic strategy. NRF2 activators are able to protect oligodendrocytes from this damage. Wow. Oligodendrocytes are the basic cell of your nervous system, you guys, your brain, your spinal cord, the most sensitive to oxidative stress. And we have something that can protect them, the most potent inducer. How many drug companies have you ever heard create a study, compare it to a natural product, and find the natural product to be the most potent? Oregon State University says when it finds a problem, NRF2 essentially goes back to the nucleus and rings the alarm bell where it can turn on the genes that are responsible for cell repair, detoxification of carcinogens, protein and lipid metabolism, antioxidant protection, and others. If they call it a longevity assurance factor. Wow. Come on. And I bet you never heard about it before you got on here, right? So when I heard about this, I was literally Rolodexing people this could help. Like, if this is real, I'm going to bless a lot of people with this, right? And then my health started changing. I was taking over 20 supplements sold only through physicians. And I really thought my health was just the way it was for the age I was. Anybody ever thought that? Like, this is just what it's like to be 30 something. This is what it's like to be 40. I guess this is what it gets to be when you're 50, right? Anybody ever said that? That's what I thought until my cells were activated. I dropped off a ton of supplements. That's one thing that happened. My hair started growing back. That I had my went to my first hair appointment a month afterwards, and my hairstylist is like, "What are you doing?" My hair was growing in that most women never have see it growing back in. Weight started falling off that I couldn't shed no matter what I did. I was waking up before my alarm clock. There are just so many things that changed about my health that were I was other than expecting. I was expecting this to help my hard to reach patients. I was expecting this to be that big life changer for those major things, but all the subtle things that started happening inside my cells as I continued to take it were dramatic. And then LifeVantage didn't stop with Protandim Nrf2. They kept developing activators. And this is another reason why I have stayed with this company and why I continue to promote it and continue to see levels of health changed. And this is one of my absolute favorite stacks. It is called our Healthy Glow Stack, and I like to call it the chiropractor's BFF. So this is our Protandim Nrf2, so that we take it and we start making antioxidants with our liquid collagen. So we have studies on the liquid collagen on its own, and there are 10 collagen peptides in here in a liquid bioavailable form, meaning it's all chopped up, easy for your body to absorb. Most collagens, did you know, do absolutely nothing for you. I've recommended tons of them, seen hardly any results. This is totally and entirely different. 10 peptides you're going to pour in. Remember that empty cup thing that I talked about at the beginning? Supplements, pour it in, fill it up. 10 of those. And this is more than just a collagen supplement. This is a collagen activator. It's going to turn on the genes that start helping you to make your own collagen again, and also turn on the gene that slows down your collagen degradation. And when we take the two of these together, we start making 5 types of collagen, and 3 of those are not even in this supplement, right? So we can take 10, but we can then start making 5. This is so cool. And even better than that, so we're making antioxidants, we're making the collagen, but when we take the two together, and why I like to call it the chiropractor's BFF is because your collagen density doubles in just 8 weeks. Your collagen is a major part of every lining in your body. You've heard of collagen for hair, skin, and nails. And my goodness, if you are over the age of 30, and I literally tell everyone this, if you're over the age of 30, take a picture of everything: your face, your thighs, your butt, your belly, your scars, your skin, your rashes, your moles, your warts, your anything on your outside, and take it again in 30 days and look at it. And I have yet to have anyone over 30 not see a difference. Can you imagine that? 30 days? Something different is going to look different on your skin from the outside. But now imagine what's happening on the inside, because I do love the vanity part of that, the beauty that comes when you can change stuff that's on the outside from taking something from the inside. But now think of all the other things that are made of collagen. And this is what chiropractors really, really care about. We care about your bones, your tendons, your discs, your joints. Yes, your skin, your nerves, your articular cartilage, where your discs actually meet each other, your muscles, your blood vessels, your organs. And maybe, just maybe, this one could really blow your mind. You could cut your stress perpetuation cycle in a third. Who do you know that could use a third less stress in your life? Like, this was me, y'all. And maybe you're in a different spot, but I have yet to meet someone that couldn't use a little bit less stress load in their life, right? So when people have less stress in their bodies, when you double your collagen density, guess what happens to my patients? They hold their adjustments better. Their muscles, their body is holding less tension in it. They can recover faster. They're doing more. They're able to move their bodies and recover from what they're doing. They can do more of what they want. And isn't that the goal in the first place? Do what you love with ease. So look at this. The NF-kappa B pathways, the main stress switch in your body, we cut that in a third. Look at all these others. We can decrease the signaling of all these other stress-related pathways. Okay, if you are nerdy, get your hands on the study on the two of these. We just got a patent on this combo, a patent on its ability to activate the innate inflammatory pathways in your body. This is huge, 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 huge. These pathways are studied for everything, again, that you do not want, everything that you do not want. And is this a treatment or a cure or for any symptom, condition, or disease? No. But I want you to look at what is studied relative to what you have going on and see how impressive this could be and what difference could be if this was inside your body. Look at this in 7 days. 7 days. Again, inside out changes. My friend Maria's legs, my friend Nancy's legs, faces, Holly, Kat, Dr. Kat. These are people I know and love and care about. All right. And again, chiropractors BFF. I know I'm overwhelming you guys a little bit with a lot of information today. So just feel like I know I'm blowing information at you, and I want you to hear this and hear this message because I've never seen anything do this on an x-ray. This is another colleague of mine, Dr. Hatch, and he had added the liquid collagen to his activation stack. And so he had that chiropractor's BFF in his body, and he was getting adjusted 4 or 5 times a week before, added that collagen to his activators, and lost 50 pounds without doing anything extra. Weight. Anybody carrying a little extra weight around, a little extra stress? How about feeling like you need an adjustment 4 or 5 times a week? That's what he was feeling it and doing it because he needed it to function and get through his days. And all of a sudden, he started not feeling like he even needed an adjustment. He was still getting adjusted, but not as often, not feeling like he needed it, lost that 50 pounds, and they re-x-rayed and look at the increase in his disc heights. So am I saying your disc heights are going to increase? No. Am I going to say you're losing 50 pounds? No, there are no guarantees for what's going to happen in you. But what I'm saying is when you activate the body, an entirely new thing happens inside your cells. And what that could mean for you, we have yet to know. But we need to get back to the root issues. And by that, we need to get back to cells. When we can create healthy cells create healthy tissues create healthy organs, healthy systems. And then those healthy systems will lead to healthy humans. And that's what activation is all about. What can we do? What kind of God's pharmacy can we take to turn on God's pharmacy inside your cells? And when we look at core issues, we have to look at the things that come up. And the gut is one of those issues. And when we start everything with yellow, we can see a huge, huge change in everything. And so we have a gut product. And all of you probably on here have heard of gut products, right? Probiotics, prebiotics, postbiotics, digestive enzymes, superfruits, super greens, antioxidants, right? All of these things for your gut. And it's overwhelming. I've had a ton of patients tell me, like, how many gut products do I really need? Well, we have a product that is like 10 gut products in one. It's technically 2 little packets you add to 1 thing of water and drink it. And this is the best gut combo I have been able to give people. And of course, starting with yellow because it makes it better, makes everything better. But we like to call this the Healthy Edge Stack. So when you take these things, you start making the antioxidants and then also making key gut peptides. So we've heard of the word peptides. What even are peptides? Why do you want them? What is so important about our gut? Our gut is where we make 90% of our serotonin, brain health, gut-brain connection. It's where we get 70% of our immune function. Our gut affects every single part of our body. Our gut health is reflected on our skin. If you know of anyone that has anything going on their skin, right? Acne, rashes, bumps, all the things, right? Carrying extra weight, hormones are off, anything like that, come back to the gut. That's where we see those things. We have to heal the gut. And remember that bombardment with toxicity, it affects the gut. We got to have yellow there to keep the detox pathways open so that we can see the full benefits of what we're doing. And by the way, if you pour peptides into a system that doesn't have detox open, that isn't healing what God made it, we're going to be adding more to a broken system. When you add more to a broken system, you end up with more problems later on. So that's why we start with activation. We can also activate our brain health. We have a brain drink called Axio. And when we take it, we start making those brain messengers and energy. Most energy problems actually come from fatigue in the brain. When those chemicals aren't attaching to the appropriate receptors, that's when we feel tired. We feel sluggish. And remember that brain and spinal cord are so sensitive to oxidative stress. It needs yellow to help it get those toxins out of there. And then we need that brain drink to get those chemicals attached to the right receptors. It's like throwing a dart at the dartboard and hitting the bullseye every time. Look at this. This is my friend's little girl. 15 minutes. She drank the drink, redid the test, and look at what happened to her focus. And this is not just for kids. This is for adults too. This is getting your mom brain back, your executive, your CEO brain. This is kill a workout kind of energy. This is slay your day. This is handle your kids without that feeling. This is a lot of things for a lot of people. But what this slide's a little bit much. This shows a lot of our products. You can activate cells, systems, your brain, your gut, your tissues, your immune system, your skin, your hair, so many things. And have you ever shopped on, like when I shop on a site, after I purchase something, it will suggest like, hey, since you bought that, you might like this. You ever done that? And they were right. Like they are always spot on for me. And what I love about this company is when you start here, wherever you come in, you start looking around and we have other products that solve other problems you may have going on as well. And so you can get them all in the same place. We have some of your basic supplements. We do have things we have to supplement our life for. Our bodies don't make them. We have to take them. And then we also have these God-given pathways that when we can activate them, no matter what else you're doing, no matter what self-care you're doing, it is better when we get to the root with our cell care. And that's why we have to start with activation. And remember, every body is different. And this approach to health will help you feel and notice different things as the body gets back into balance. We want to get that balance back in, and remembering that each person is unique as a fingerprint, but you want to be on the lookout for positive results. And what I always tell people is you want to look at taking these for a month of every decade you are old. If you're 30, that's 3 months. If you're 50, that's 5 months. You get the picture, right? If you have any symptoms, conditions, or diseases going on at the current moment, give it longer. You did not get to where you are in a short time, and you will not get your full return to balance in a short time either. But here's the deal too. Some things happen quickly. For me, it was the first night I could tell a difference taking this. In the first week, there were things that were showing up. In a first month, my hairdresser could tell a change in my body. What's going to happen to you is going to happen at the speed based on your healing capacity, what God gave you, your internal mechanism. We are literally just empowering your body to do its job, but you have to give it time and look for those positive things happening. And maybe it's more than health that you're looking for. If I'm totally honest, I did not think I was looking for more than changes in health. I thought I was looking at something that could help my patients with their health, and my health changed too, right? But this is so much more than that. And an answer to another prayer. In fact, it was January before I was introduced to this. I remember doing New Year's resolutions. And at that time, I had 4 little kids. My husband's a farmer. He was rarely around. I was running busy practice, waiting list practice. And when you own your own business, often your business can own you too, right? It was, if you're a business owner, you know what I'm talking about. 6 to 7 days a week, you're doing the do to make the business run. And I was doing that. And I had 4 little kids. And I remember thinking to myself, man, this is everything I prayed for. And God, if this is what it is to be successful, I don't want to be it. Like, show me something different. show me a better way to show up for better for my family. Like I felt like what my family got was what was left over for me after I was finished with my day, exhausted, wanting to be not around anyone, but they were still needing of me too. And then when I would shift the other way, work less hours, be with my family more. Well, then I couldn't get all my patients in, and I would be leaving people hanging on that end of it. Or going on a vacation was stressful. Own your own business again. If you go on a vacation, you agree to not get paid, and you still have the same overhead. You cram people in before you go. You cram people in before when you get back, and it just really didn't feel worth it. What are you looking for more of in your life? That's just a question, just a really serious question. Like, what are you looking for more of? And maybe it's something with your health. Maybe it's something with your finances. Maybe it's time to do what you want with who you want. Maybe it's purpose or passion. Maybe it's a way to leverage your time. So when you're not working, you have something that's still providing for you, for your family, for your next generation. I remember when my friend passed, her practice, which she'd spent a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears creating. 30 days, her practice was going to be worth less than half of its value, and in 90 days, 90% less of what it was worth. Just think about what you have to leave when you leave behind, right? Or maybe you're looking for community, for culture, for travel, for impact, just fun. But maybe LifeVantage is that vehicle for you. Or maybe you're looking for something for less, like what stresses you out. When we talked about stress before, most people will say statistics show 75% of people are stressed, and 75 to 90% of people are stressed about finances. Like, what keeps you up at night? What makes it hard for you to fall asleep? What do you desire for your kids or the people you love and care about to say about you when you pass? I mean, these are big questions, but I'm just saying, like, maybe this is the vehicle for you. And LifeVantage is a vehicle for you, but we need more voices. We need help sharing this and have people having the courage to ask someone to take a look. We are leading the way in activation. We have 60,000 US consultants. We are headquartered in Utah. We're a debt-free company, publicly traded on the NASDAQ. You can look at what we have there, where you can do this as social selling. You can literally just gather customers. We love our customers. We are also looking for people that are looking to leverage their income. We're looking for people who are willing to train and mentor leaders to get what they want and are looking for more of in life or less of in life. It's a turnkey business, no inventory, no assets. The only products you buy are the products you use. And we have a culture and a community where we are all looking to help each other succeed. This is our income disclosure statement. I know a lot of numbers here, and I'm not even going to go into all of the details here. I just want you to look real quick at this average monthly commissions at paid rank. Again, nothing you need to look at, but what would $316 extra per month do for you? That's our foundational rank of SC1. Or how about $1,700 a month? That's MC1. This is when you start into the leadership mode of this company. And then executive, this is where you start leading a movement of people. You have a team of leaders leading other people to do something different, to find a different way to live life. And that's $14,000 a month. What would $14,000 a month be like for you and your family? So it starts with yellow. Your health can change dramatically if you start with yellow, and your life can change dramatically if you start your yellow business as well. But I'd like you to get back to whoever invited you here and tell them one of three things. One, you're interested in looking at the products. You want to become a customer. Two, you're interested in the products, but you want to have a conversation about the business. Or three, this is really not for you, but you know someone who this may help. Thank you again for listening.